Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here with something a little bit different. This is GT Manager, the all new game developed by the Tiny Digital Factory. Obviously a motorsport management style game that over the last couple of years we haven't really sort of seen much development and change in these sorts of games. But this one I genuinely do believe is a game changer. Now it's actually quite a funny story as to how I came across this game. I was originally just scrolling through Instagram one evening, having a look through a couple of bits and pieces, and this game actually came up as an ad. So I sort of liked the tweet, downloading it, and thought I'll jump into this over the course of this weekend. And then, funnily enough, actually a couple of days ago, GT Manager, the company, decided to tweet at me, obviously just seeing if I wanted to play the game to obviously make some content for you guys. And I thought, actually, that's a great idea. I was going to play it just sort of by myself, sort of get into it, have a look what it's all about and things like that. But yeah, the opportunity obviously to make you guys another video is always something I'm interested in doing, of course. And now this game, obviously, this video is actually sponsored by GT Manager and the Tiny Digital Factory as well. So a massive, massive thank you to those guys. There will be some information towards the end of the video. Obviously, if you are interested in playing this game, they're actually willing to give out some free exclusive content as well, obviously, for you guys that normally have to pay for within the game. So obviously, stick around if you are interested as well. But yeah, today though, so obviously I'm going to sort of showcase what the game has to offer, some very, very cool stuff involved. And we'll start off then with, in my personal opinion, probably the coolest thing about the game, and that is the cars. 19 cars to collect from various manufacturers around the world. And obviously, with it being a GT Manager game, obviously you get a few GT4 cars, a few GT3s, and a couple of sort of special ones as well. So kicking it off then, we have got our Audi Rs3 Lms Tcr car. I'm a big fan of this car. Obviously, I've raced it quite a bit on various games and sims over recent months. I absolutely love this thing, and I think it's really, really cool as well. Having a look at some of the GT4s, you've got the Alpine A110 GT4. Those of you guys that know, I absolutely love the old and the new Alpine A110. So yeah, massively, massively excited to see this car in the game, and that is definitely one I want to collect in the near future. In terms of other GT4 cars, you've got the Chevrolet Camaro, you've got the likes of the Celine S1. This thing I've actually never seen elsewhere. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this existed before we dived into GT Manager as well, so that is super cool to see. Then you've also got the Porsche 718 Cayman, the likes of the Ford Mustang as well, and then sort of moving into the GT3 cars, you've of course got the Porsche 911. Is it really a game without a Porsche 911 GT3 car? Is it really a GT racing experience? I don't think so without this thing. So yeah, very, very cool to see that. And then you've got the likes of the Renault RS01, my favourite GT3 car of all time. Mainly just having a look at the back end of this thing. It always looked peng. I absolutely loved watching this thing. Obviously back in GT3 and then of course in the RS01 Cup as well. Obviously you have two slightly different versions of the car there as well. And look at it in orange. It does look absolutely beautiful on this game. Then of course you've got the Ford Mustang supercar from the Australian Supercar Series. I was very, very excited to see this in the game. I'm intrigued to know how that'll handle over the course of the game as well there. Then you've got the likes of the Mercedes AMG GT3 as well. Again, sort of a staple of the GT3 cars. And then, of course, you've got some of the more modern ones as well. The Mclaren 720S GT3 car as well. The Nissan GTR Nismo. You got the Celine S7R. Again, another one sort of from GT1, GT2 era, but was an absolute monster back in its day as well. So very, very excited to see this in the game as well. Then you've got the likes of the Audi R8 LMS GT2, and then further on you can see you've got the Corvette C7R GTE car, the Porsche 911 RSR as well, and then the Aston Martin Vantage GT, obviously a very, very new car as well, so excited to give that a go as well. The McLaren Senna GTR as well, a very, very powerful car. And then last but certainly not least, the Brabham BT62 as well. So yeah, very, very excited to pretty much drive all of these cars over the course, or manage these cars even, I should say, over the course of the game then. So yeah, those are the official 19 cars from GT Manager that obviously you guys can go through and unlock. And of course, obviously, with it being a management game, you've got to try and develop some other things. You know, it's not just about collecting all the cars, you've really got to try and build up your own headquarters. There's 5 buildings and 12 different departments to go through on this game. Now, at the moment, obviously, I'm only a level 3 scrub, so unfortunately, I've only got the marketing, the car strategy, or car factory even, sorry, I should say. There you can see with the chassis, the engine, and the aero department, and then, of course, the driver department as well. So you can see our 2 drivers currently, Sandro Erasmo and Ari Sakurai as well. You can see both of those guys they're getting there. I've done a couple of races with them already. Obviously, I've sort of had a bit of a play around with the game. And yeah, those two, they're putting up some decent results between them so far early on in this game as well. There you can see, having a quick look at our marketing centre as well, then having a quick look at the departments there. You can see we've actually already got our first sponsor in the game as well, Energy Company there as well. So you've given us $6,500, $2,700 as well for race rewards, and then some objective bonus as well. That's obviously all sort of fairly standard and cool stuff over the course of the game as well. I'm guessing the other facilities as well, of course, are probably the racetrack. You can see winding around in the background as well. But obviously this is an online game. That is sort of the exciting thing with these sorts of things nowadays, the fact that you can race with other people around the world. So of course we will dive into a race in just a moment. There's many different races going on all the time as well. You can see if we have a quick look at the race now, you've got the two options at the moment for ranked racing. I'll run in how that works sort of in just a second as well. You've got sprints and endurance racing. So the sprints are 5 laps, the endurance races are 9 laps. And then you've also got some daily racing, and coming soon, the 48-hour endurance series as well, which I'm very much looking forward to jumping into as well. So yeah, lots of different and exciting things early on in this game. You can, like I said, obviously you can even do night racing as well, which I'm very, very excited to be trying to jump into in the near future as well. As you can see, some challenges as well. You can complete daily and weekly challenges to earn extra rewards. So you can see, for example, so far I've done one of the 5 endurance races to unlock $10,000, 25 cars as well to unlock another $10,000, and then win 2 ranked races with 2 cars in the top 6 as well. We've done that once to unlock 10 credits as well. That's obviously, they're really, really important, obviously, if you want to try and build up your garage. And then the weekly challenge as well, finish 40 sprint races, nets you 70,000, and then win 20 endurance races, bags you 1 gold pack as well. So yeah, that's definitely worth grinding out for if you guys are looking to try and dive into the game as well. And yeah, like I said though, there will be some free content as well for you guys as well if you do want to play this game as well. Luckily we've teamed up actually with GT Manager, and they are willing to give you guys the race pass for free if you get the game before the end of April. So you can see that currently includes the 30 extra reward packs, the daily reset on the sponsor limit, and then up to $100,000 of seasonal cashback as well. They're normally valued at £6 here in the UK. To get that, what you need to do is email the Tiny Digital Factory, their support team. I will leave a link down in the comments below, or obviously at the top line of the description as well. Quote GTM underscore Matt212, and then just obviously leave your driver ID as well, which you can find actually if you just click on your little name at the top there. You can see just underneath your name, you can see your player ID as well. So yeah, very, very cool. Obviously, if you guys want to dive in as well, there is that as well. But yeah, let's dive in then for a quick race. We're going to dive in and do a 5-lap sprint race for today's video. You can see we're currently Elite Division 4 at the moment there as well. You gain 30 trophies if you win, lose 15 if you lose. So hopefully we won't lose today. We've been on a pretty good streak so far on the game, and you can see that for this one we're actually going up against a man with 75 trophies. So he's done slightly better than me so far in this game. We're racing at Italy as well. You can see a 4.8 kilometer track, 15 degrees as well. Then of course, welcome to Italy. I must admit the graphics do look really, really cool as well. They're sort of giving you those great sort of vibes as well of some of the games that I've played in the past, and that is a very good sign. 1-2 on the grid there, and almost half a second by Erasmo at the top of the field there. You see he's actually got the 2 same drivers as myself, but we were just a little bit quicker at the end of qualifying there. In terms of strategy though, 5 laps ahead of us. Generally on these games, what I like to do, this is a bit of a tip from me to you, I like to sort of split my strategies, put the guy on the pole on the softs and then the guy in second place on the mediums, just so you can try and focus on doing slightly different strategies with your race. You don't want them to sort of trip over each other early on in this one. But yeah, let's dive in then to our first race on GT Manager for you guys. 5 red lights on the grid, and it's lights out, and away we go. There you can see a very good start there. We've got a few Camaros and TCRs on the grid ready for this one as we head down in through the first chicane. You can see a few different things to notice on your screens. Obviously you've got, of course, at the top you've got all the position counters, and then of course down the side you can see we've got Erasmo and Sakurai as well there. So obviously the 3 little arrows are obviously how much you want your driver to be pushing early on. You've then also got a little boost button, which if I show you quickly, you can see a couple of blue lines come out the back of the car there, and you just drive a little bit quicker for a few moments. Then you've also got the engine management. This I thought was a really, really cool feature, and sort of adds something else that I haven't really ever seen personally in other management games in the past. The fact you've really got to sort of watch the engine and everything like that. Now, obviously, the engine can get damaged by sitting in someone else's slipstream for too long, or obviously making the driver push too hard for too long as well there. And it's been something I've been slowly learning as we've dived into the game early on there. So let's have a quick look then with Sakurai sort of managing the rest of your field there just a little bit further back. You can see he's still holding on to P3 though rather tidily, as the other guy is having a bit of a mare there down. Well, he's got P2, but he's also down in 13th place towards the rear of the field as well there. But obviously, yeah, it's nice to have the option between sort of sprint races and some sort of longer ones as well. Like I said, the endurance racing, I'm sure, is going to be very, very cool as well. And obviously, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed as well. Obviously, if you want to see more GT Manager content over the coming weeks and months there, because he's trying to manage the engines as best as possible early on in this race. And as we head on to lap 3, I'm going to set up a pit stop for Erasmo here. So he's going to come in at the end of this one. We'll probably get Sakurai to go one extra lap, probably a bit too far on those mediums, but we'll give it a shot nonetheless, as we'll actually try and get him a bit closer to Erasmo once again there. As I think, yeah, his medium tyres starting to actually hit the cliff at this stage of the day there. So Sakurai might actually take the lead of this race, and I think we might have actually left Erasmo out just a bit too long here. You can, obviously, if you prefer as well, just have sort of a top-down view of the map. I know, obviously, for some of you guys that like that. Personally, I like to sort of zoom in, have a bit of a look around and everything like that as well, and sort of see the environment. Obviously, the cars are racing around as well, but obviously that's just personal preference. And as you can see, this is what happens if you burn out your engine too much. A little bit of smoke coming out the back of the car there, so you have to tone it down. Luckily, when you're in the pit lane, the engine, of course, does get a chance to breathe, so that's normally a good chance as well. You sort of want to factor that in to your pit stops as well. Obviously, if the engine's getting a bit too warm or a bit too worn out there, obviously you can try and do that as well. As you can see, heading back out of the pit lane there, Erasmo, we probably actually should have put him on mediums to the end. Oh, sorry, another set of soft tyres to the end of the race there. I'm far too used to F1 rules when I play these sorts of games. You can see he's struggling as well with the engines. We just need to tone it back down. We'll get Erasmo pushing, though, just quickly, only briefly, though, as we head back down the hill once more then. Let's just hope Sakurai gets a nice clean pit stop as well. We're still doing all right. We're still 1st and 6th at the moment there, and obviously Erasmo going to the end of the race shouldn't have any more issues as well, so we should be pretty safe towards the end of this one there, to get the tyres off the car and hopefully going to send it back out towards the end of the race. So hopefully now, obviously, we can set them both to push just a little bit more. We're right on board with Erasmo, as he's actually just going to come out ahead of Sakurai there out of the pit lane. But yeah, can we hopefully, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to try and walk away with the win from this win. Now you can see he's actually got himself a good lead at the front of the field, so we are going to have to get both of our guys to push, obviously, if we want to try and make up the deficit here. I do not want my first loss to be on video, I'll be honest with you guys. It was going to happen at some point, but I do hope today is not going to be that day there, as we're still trying to use the boosts towards the end there. We're really pushing Erasmo to the limits here, as unfortunately I think he's just burnt the engine ever so slightly too much. We've got Sakurai still coming through the pack as well there. It's going to be very, very close to the end of the race there. Out of the final corner, it's going to be P2 and P3 at the line there, so that should be good enough. 27 to 21 points there. You really do get a lot of points if you do pick up the race victory there, but that is going to be a win once more there. Like I said, 3 for 3 so far on GT Manager. Let's have a quick look at our rewards. So 130 XP, obviously all the bonuses as well there, and we are slowly making our way up towards Rookie D4 as well. You can see the sponsor limit we've almost actually hit. You can only get $6,500 every hour so far, and obviously if you unlock the season race pass as well, like I said, that you guys can get for free, that limit of course gets upped as well. So very, very cool to see. But there we are then. Our first race on GT Manager. Like I said, I'll make sure I leave all the information down in the comments and description below. Obviously, if you guys do want to check out this game, I personally do think it's really, really cool. I would definitely be playing a lot more of it. And yeah, like I said, I was planning on playing this game anyway. It was just pure coincidence that GT Manager hit me up as well, and obviously wanted me to try and make a video to showcase the game to you guys as well. But yeah, just having a quick look through all of the different leagues. The aim is to make it to Elite, of course. 4,300 trophies there. It's going to be a long old time before we can get to there as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well for more motorsport content.